That's all.
Welcome back to Sims Complete. I'm your host, Matt Sims, alongside Phil Sims on the Believe Sports Network. Brought to you by FanDuel. Yeah, we're all jazzed up today.
Why is that?
June 2nd, late afternoon. Giants got 3 great receivers added to the roster. D.D. Sims, birthday. D.D. Sims, your wife, my mother, okay? She turned 70 the other day.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know she was so old.
So congratulations. Sure you did. Sure you did.
Okay.
But happy birthday to our mother, right? The matriarch of the Sims family. We'd be nothing without her. And as I like to tell the people, everyone shows up and comes to our house to see Phil Sims. They leave talking about how cool Dee Dee is. So that's, yeah.
Okay. Just slap me across the face. This is off to a good start. I like this. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that you're the known quantity here. Like they don't know her, right? So
yeah.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah,
I got it. I will say, listen. Your mother. She's just the nicest person that can be. And if I say anything bad about the kids, oh no, like if I say something about you, she has to correct it, make it better than whatever it is. So I guess that's part of being a mother,
Yeah.
They coddle the kids, and where the fathers are not really, but me, I'm the bad guy most of the time. So there we go.
You're the bad guy.
Yep. I like it.
Well, happy birthday to Diana Sims, Dee Sims. We love you. It was great celebrating her the other night. Had a nice little banger there at Big Phil's house at the bar. So nothing like getting on the top of Big Phil's bar and just, showing everybody my ass and partying, so.
Did you get on that really?
Yeah. I did a whole strip show and everything.
No, you didn't know strip show.
Yes, I did. I did the breakaway pants and everything.
Wow. Okay. I missed it. I'm glad. I missed it. I'm glad. I had enough. Listen, when you get older, you'll see loud music is just the worst thing in the world to me. Turn it down. And if they don't turn it down, good seeing everybody. I went to another room. Of course, I went in to watch the basketball game. So that
too. Yeah.
Go ahead. You have something?
No, just happy birthday, Diana Sims. We love you. Thank you so much for everything that you do for our family. Thank you for dealing with this bitch over here, Phil Sims. And we really
I'm a pain in the ass. There's no doubt about it. Where's that? It's right there. Oh gosh, I should have looked.
Yeah, this is Phil right here. Where the hell is my phone? Damn it! Oh, hello. Hey, hello.
Yeah, no, that's bad. That's bad.
All right, so big guy.
What was I saying?
Yeah, what's that?
What was I saying?
What were you saying?
Giants. I was down there today.
Right.
They're doing something about, the 40-year anniversary of the Super Bowl and all that. So that was part of it. It's under construction. Their practice complex or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Is incredible. They're making it almost twice as big as it was. I did run into John Harbaugh and I said to him, man, you look rested and good. He goes, really? And, so you expect them, especially a new coach, but he's been through this so long and, all those years in Baltimore. I mean, he knows what to do. So the job has got to be much easier. And I think overall that you and I kind of talk about, he's got to be excited. The fact that it is the Giants, that is something. Moving on, you need that sometimes. When you do the same thing every day, you need to change your routine. And that goes with coaches too. Going to another team, I think, refreshes them. I kind of see it in his face and his personality and everything he's doing. And the Giants, it's been an exciting offseason for them. The draft, it worked out well. The people they picked up and the new coach, the assistants. So a lot of good stuff going for the Giants. But I got to say that, how about the wide receiver position? They just said, well, let's just get everybody and decide who we like the most, I guess. So, yeah, I'll let you go into that.
Well, no, I mean, kind of elaborate a little bit more on, well, first, let's not go into that so quickly, but just, as far as your interpretation of Harbaugh and how that looks, right, from the outside, and also being just, an alumni of the New York Giants fan base, and of course being one of the greats to ever do it there. How is it seeing a known guy in the business, right, that's been so successful? How has he, I feel like, embraced this new Giants culture and kind of being a part of it from your lens?
I think right from the word go, he embraced the Giant culture, being part of this organization, who they are, the city, the fans, and it's ignited the fans. Right. And I get it, I got it. I was at some signing for the Giants on Sunday, and I had a lot of people saying things to me, and it wasn't positive about the Giants. It was over the top. Right. What do you think? We're going to win like 13 games? Don't. I said, don't even say that.
Yeah.
Let's calm down. Let's let them get it in order and everything like that. I do see the leadership of John Harbaugh because he's been doing this so long. He knows what he probably didn't like it himself down in Baltimore, maybe the last year or two. Well, he can correct that now because he has a new audience.
Right.
And I what was it, about 2 weeks ago, I went into New York to a big, almost like a pep rally for the Giants.
Yeah.
And all the players were in there, and I got a big kick. We were like in a big room waiting in the background. And me and Carl Banks and Bob Papa, we were the last ones on the stage. But all the players were like, man, you should see our workouts are so hard and this. And I go, well, yeah, you're doing something different than you did for the last 4 years.
Right.
And it's a good thing. And so just hearing, the typical gripes that football players like to make and all that stuff was pretty funny. Just hearing their opinions of the schedule and how hard they're working, which, when you win, this work hard thing is real. You don't, let's have a party and we'll still win. No, you don't. And so what's the word? It's set in stone already who they're going to be, what he's going to be. And you and I have said it many times. I want to go, but also really love the assistant coaches that are going to be helping John Harbaugh too.
Yeah. It's cool, right? Just to see this all play out too. And you're right, just like what an active offseason overall it has been. So yeah, let's get to the more recent news as far as the Giants go and their offseason again and how it's progressed. Signing Odell Beckham Jr., Braxton Berrios, and JuJu Smith-Schuster. So in your opinion, big guy, when you think about the signing of 3 veterans, right, in the case of Odell, someone that really kind of hasn't been on a roster consistently in the past handful of years, right, towards the end of his NFL career, what do you read? What does that tell you with the addition of these 3 veteran receivers? What's John Harbaugh and Joe Schoen trying to do by bringing in the 3 veterans with this?
Well, the fact that Malik Neighbors' little setback there, that kind of, I would think, not scares them, but says, man, we got to make sure we protect ourselves here.
Right.
And bringing all those guys in, we'll do that. Now they get a chance to see them all together, watch them work out, what to do, running, catching, everything, what kind of shape they're in, that stuff. And that makes, I think, the decision clearer and easier for an organization to make.
Yeah.
Now, listening to the radio, just talking to people, I have not heard anybody say anything but one name. What is that name?
Odell?
Yeah. Odell. Yeah.
Right.
They want to see Odell from back when he first came in the league.
Right.
And I we don't get into it. I want to say, that isn't going to be the guy you're going to see.
No.
But he's athletic or who he was, and he could play a different role on this football team if he shows them that he's done enough to show them that he could be that guy. He could be a slot receiver, moving him around. He's big, he's tough, he's got great hands. It seems like the last time I ever saw him was in the Super Bowl. And then I thought, damn, Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be the MVP of this game.
Yeah.
And he got hurt. But that jumps out. But the fact they're just trying to really protect that position with JuJu Smith-Schuster, Calvin Austin's there, too.
Odell, I like Calvin Austin.
Yeah. And you know what, too? Malachi Fields, the draft pick. So
yeah.
I think they've kind of thrown some water on a fire, and hopefully it's going to work for them.
Yeah, I think they looked at the receiver room, and of course the top of the group, right, with Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, getting Darnell Mooney in.
Yeah.
Of course, like if we add Isaiah Likely added to the skill group overall, right, in its improvement with Theo Johnson. I think they looked at that receiver room though overall and just said, hey, these guys, there's some talent, they're young, but just we need more proven veteran football players within that meeting room, especially with our young quarterback. I think the combination of young and young at quarterback and receiver was just too big, right? Considering just the team and the way that it's set up. And I think for them, they're just protecting their young quarterback with surrounding him with veteran players, like you said, that know how to read defenses, can see the big picture, find the soft spots in the zone, make contested catches too, because that's another thing too that I feel like in the past handful of years for the New York Giants receiving core, it's like if there was a 50-50 ball, it just seemed like it was 90-10 for the defense, and it just wasn't good enough, right? I feel like on a consistent basis. So with guys like JuJu, with guys like Odell, who are proven just like tough pass catchers over the middle, hey, the separation's not there. Who gives a damn? We just need completions.
Yeah.
So I think that combination of like the young guys who are kind of up and coming with the older guys, I think is a really good combo for that receiving group going forward. And like you said, adds a little toughness and edginess to that room.
Yeah. As a quarterback, and you're talking about these guys, you trust them. And that's what you need to trust them that when it's tight, you throw it, they're going to protect you.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, either catch the football, but at worst, knock it down or make sure it's incomplete.
Yeah.
And they expect you. You only get so many shots at this. When they throw that ball that's maybe it's going to be contested, you got to win enough of them for him to say, I'm going to keep coming to you in those situations because he likes what he sees. So that'd be interesting too, just to see which one becomes that tough guy catching the football.
Yeah.
And I guess I haven't studied the other guys enough, but Odell Beckham Jr. does kind of right away, I see it. He's got good size, and I just wonder about the running and his speed. Where is it? Is he in a good enough shape to keep impressing the coaches if they decide to keep him as they go along? Because, Matt, when you're in that situation like that, and you're that guy that's, hasn't been real successful late, you almost got to show them every day what you got. And because if you don't, they'll go, yeah, he's kind of fallen back into what he was and, whatever. So that's going to be – it's going to be good to watch. I need to go down there and watch them practice a little and just to see what they really look like in person, all these receivers, and kind of size them up together and probably come up with I think I would come up with a few more thoughts once I saw them on the field. So,
and we got to think too that just Matt Nagy, his familiar relationship with JuJu Smith-Schuster recently, of course, with the Kansas City Chiefs is huge. And I also think too that just like Nagy, Harbaugh, the rest of the offensive staff, right? Callahan, Roman, right? It's all about, we got the veterans, we got the young guys. There's a happy place here in between all of this. And now I think big picture wise, Jalen Hyatt, Isaiah Rodgers, Bo Collins, man, the clock starts now, unfortunately.
Tight ends.
The tight end group for sure. So I just think that it's, we know Patrick Ricard's making the team. When they sign a fullback, he's not competing versus anybody. There's only one fullback on the damn team. And in a lot of ways, he's in the tight end room. So it's like, I really think that the Giants, in the past, it was kind of like, hey, they'll come up eventually. This year, it just seems like they're either going to or they're not, and we'll see if they do. And, I definitely feel like the timetable for some of the younger guys in the depth chart, right, kind of got picked up a little bit with the signing of these three guys.
The one thing I just jotted it down, every time there's talk about the Giants, Jackson Dart's got to protect himself. And yes, we know.
Yeah.
But it's always there. But, there's still going to be plays. And, Matt, even though we weren't running quarterbacks, we still understand this. When you're running and here's the defense, you can figure out right away as you're running where to go down and what to do and do it right. And also there's going to be plays, and everybody's, he's going to go out there and he's going to see a certain situation, and he's going to go into that defender to either get the first down or he sees he has the advantage and he's going to win the physical part of it. So that's going to happen. And I know when it does, it's going to be, oh, God, he can't do it. Well, no, there's going to be times he's going to run and take some punishment to get big first downs, but also about the judgment he makes as he's running, that he knows he can go into one of those defenders, between them, whatever that is. And
yeah.
Do you agree with that thought, as I say?
Yeah, I mean, I do. And I think a lot of that just comes with just experience in the game, right? Big picture, understanding what the team is doing. And I think a lot of the things too, like he was in hero mode a lot last year because there wasn't a great surrounding cast or a consistent surrounding cast, or they just didn't gel offensively enough for, I feel like, him to say, yep, go through the read, boom, make the progression, let's move on, right? Yeah. And I think Harbaugh's experience, Callahan, especially in that quarterback room, like these are going to be lessons that are going to be relayed to him, I think, just that much better across the board for them. And then with just the veterans around, hey, what do you think Odell's going to be saying? Hey, Jackson, we love the energy. Get your ass down and just throw me the football, okay? Yeah. Like, and these are, I think, conversations where, like, JuJu, Odell, Braxton, because of their experience, they'll say that to Jackson Dart and be like, we get it. We get it, young guy. Like, we understand we were like that once too. But all we care about is you being there the next play. Yeah. Right. So I think that's where, again, like that veteran aspect of the receiver room is good. And I really like it for Malik Neighbors a lot. I really do. Absolutely. I think that's like the underlying thing here too. Even with this offseason too, even Malik Neighbors being a little critical too of the Giants draft class. I was just kind of like, Malik, like, man, love you, dude, but you don't know anything. So I don't know why you're commenting on anything. Just like keep playing and having fun, man. And now with these veteran guys too, it's like they're going to help him with that process.
You brought up the coaches. Coach Callahan, where was he? Oh, that's right. Well, he came from Tennessee. Before that, he was with Cincinnati.
Right.
And there's got to be a lot of information there that he has from the Cincinnati experience.
Yeah.
That is going to be really good for these receivers, for the football team, and everybody involved, and the quarterback, of course.
Great point.
So that's one. And on the other hand, which we talked about him a whole lot, but now we got that. Now we got Greg Roman here to do all the other stuff, and quarterback runs, running plays, and of course Greg Roman, he knows. I watched him last year. I said, wow, he's got all the big throws down the field in his game plan.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we see all these games, and once what's the word for a route that goes really well for a team, somebody, of course, tries to mimic it, and they do, and the next thing you know, everybody in the damn NFL by week 10 is running a couple plays that the Rams put out there or whatever, and it kind of works for everybody. So that'll be interesting too.
No, I agree with you. I think the melting pot, right, of coaches is like there's a great mixture there, because it's like Roman, like definitely expert masterclass in the run game, run checks, being able to layer those things as the game progresses, adding toughness, right, in formations. Brian Callahan, I mean, the experience too with, like, let's remember this guy won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning and was a part of that team, right? So, and then of course, right, like you said, with Joe Burrow there in Cincinnati. So it's like that's some pretty good information there, passed down to the offense and the quarterback. And then, of course, Nagy with his experience, had a good run there in Chicago with Trubisky, had a good run with Pat Mahomes, of course, and the Kansas City Chiefs. So we've always seen this, that like a lot of the better offenses in the NFL, they have just like a great mixture within that offensive coaching staff that makes them difficult to defend them, because they do have a little bit of everything. And each week they can kind of play into that strength or switching up their game plan and patterns. And I think that's going to be super effective for this team going forward.
I would think the workload for that offensive staff is they got to love what they got, because I can just work on this part and I'll dabble in that. And everybody's going to have their own expertise, and the other coaches can add the little things to it to make it really good.
Right.
So I would think that's part of this offense, the coaching staff. And, I'm not the fan yet, but somewhere in July, I'm going to be that fan.
Yeah.
I want to see it. And the great thing is, working for the Giants, I get to go to practice. So
Yeah.
that's good too. So you can really see it firsthand and kind of learn and see what they're doing.
And from all, from the reports that we're gathering from media and people that are at practices at the OTAs and all that kind of stuff and how it's played out so far, sounds like they made the right pick too with Arvell Reese. So it sounds like his impact and his speed and the way that he's been able to make plays early on just kind of shows you that I think they're actually downplaying it, and they still can't even downplay it, right, with how impactful it's been, So I think this is really an exciting time right now for the New York Giants. There's no doubt about it.
Matt, when you got the size of a linebacker in the NFL, you got the speed, and I'm really not exaggerating, you got the speed of almost a wide receiver, and you're being coached, whatever. And now the NFL, you're working on this all the time. You don't have to worry about going to class anymore. I mean, there's a lot of things there when you just meeting him, which I did in New York. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
He looks like somebody can really run and do what he did in college. And I think it'll be, I'll tell you, I think it actually will be a pretty good transition for him. It won't take halfway through the season for him to do it. Hey, get out there. He's fast. He's mobile as far as trying to get by tackles and all that. I think he can be a big factor early in the season and be a part of them winning some of these games early in the year to get off to a good start.
Yeah, agree. And signing veterans like, Shelby Harris, TJ Reader are going to be huge. Of course, Brian Burns, we can't speak highly enough about him and his impact as a leader. And of course, just like Arvell Reese, I mean, let's just keep it simple, see ball, get ball, go, let's just keep it simple for the young man and let him do his thing, and I think that's going to pay off. And, Kayvon Thibodeaux as well. Man, love seeing the offseason that he's put in. He's really got into a lot of these wrestling and hand fighting techniques and those things. So I think that's going to be a cool thing to see how that plays out. It's pretty fascinating how this is shaping up this season. So yeah, I'm already kind of getting pumped about it. We'll keep the, hype train a little lower, but I'm definitely getting jacked up. Now, big guy, let's talk real quickly, not too quickly, but let's transition now to the big trade that happened, right? And we'll start with A.J. Brown, right, from the Eagles to the New England Patriots. All right, something that we've been thinking is possible for a long time. It finally happens. Just your thought, A.J. Brown, New England Patriots.
It won't hurt. In other words, they got a little bit of everything, but they need the icing on the cake or whatever. I just came up with that. That was really good. Yeah, right. But they did need that guy. He's big and fast. Mike Vrabel didn't like him down in Tennessee. I did games. He loved him. And, I think the saying goes, he told him, as long as I'm a coach here, you're never leaving here. And, of course, that didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel can't overstep the owner and general manager sometimes. But it just puts another really, really good player on the New England Patriots and on the offensive side where, every game I would watch last year, if I listened to the announcers, that would come up. Well, they know they need another piece in the receiving group. And, there's only so much. I'm losing Buffalo wide receiver. I'm lost his name. What is it?
Oh, Stephon Diggs?
Stephon Diggs. Dan.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they had him last year and they went with him, but it's not what they got now.
Right.
He's just a bigger, faster player, and it just gives him a great part on the offense where this offense now can be explosive. You're worried about playing him one-on-one, so can't wait to see how that all works out for the Patriots.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's really interesting too, because now, of course, it's all right, Trayvon Henderson. Of course, we bring up A.J. Brown, Kayshon Boutte, and then, the other guy that always is brought up as far as this conversation goes. But I think overall, I think Eli Raridan is a sneaky, really good, valuable player for them, tight end at Notre Dame that I think they're going to get a ton out of moving forward. Romeo Doubs, I think, is another guy that he hasn't even hit his stride or his peak yet of his career. And I think he's someone that can really flash and play well off of the other pieces that they have. Right. And Mac Hollins. I like Mac Hollins a lot too. That's another tough veteran football player that knows how to get it done. And, Stevenson, Henderson,
Yeah.
Jam Miller as well. Jam Miller that they got in the draft, like a thumper in between the tackles. So you could see that like there's a great combination of like we're going to be athletic on the outside with some physicality, but we're also going to have a little speed and physicality in our run game too. And I think it's a really, really cool way the way they constructed this football team around Drake May.
Yeah, and you got to admit, Drake May, he's got everything you want in a starting quarterback. That guy that's the franchise man, he's that. Size. I think his mobility is definitely good enough, but he has a strong arm, and overall, I think he's accurate throwing the football too.
Right,
he makes a lot of tough little short passes for their offense. So having all that, and then going out there and getting one of the best receivers in the NFL, man, it brings more life into the team. Even the players going, hey, man, he's good.
That's right.
80% of them probably never seen him play a down, but it doesn't matter. They read about him. And once they see him on the field, they go, hey, who's the new linebacker?
Right.
Oh, that's our wide receiver.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's not far off. There was a picture of him in the paper today here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you told me he was a DN, I'd say, yeah, he's a damn good-looking DN too.
Right. All right, well, now let's talk about a DN that really does look like a DN and probably would have been a heavyweight champion if he went into boxing. Myles Garrett gets traded from the Cleveland Browns to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Verse. And now the Rams, man, I can't believe they picked Ty Simpson at 13. What a bunch of idiots they are, because now here in the same offseason, they got Myles Garrett, they got Trent McDuffie, they got Jalen Watson. And now, you know what? Hey, who gives a shit about a good rookie in the first round? Let's just get great veterans that know how to do it and been there before, right? And I really just, what an offseason for the Los Angeles Rams, despite some of the stuff that happened during the draft. I mean, Myles Garrett, a Los Angeles Rams. And listen, Jared Verse, I think, lands in a good spot there in Cleveland because they got a great young core group of talented players there that he'll fit in well. But now, with Myles Garrett kind of playing off of guys like Landman and Byron Young and Kobe Turner, like, wow, okay, here we go. Braden Fisk. This is going to have a huge impact on this defense.
Yeah, you just said a lot of guys and names that I kind of circled. Landman, no, it's not the show, it's the player, and he's damn good. And when you watch a game, you hear his name all the time.
Right.
And yes, Myles Garrett going, I think of it this way with the Rams. Now they went out and got Myles Garrett. That is huge for the football team, but I'm still think they did the right thing in taking Ty Simpson.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
Now Ty Simpson makes complete sense to me because now with their defense, if something happens to Matt Stafford, all right, Ty, you don't have to do everything for us. We got Myles Garrett and Trent McDuffie on the other side. They're going to take over from here. You just don't lose us the game.
Yeah, I think I think, well, I don't know when it happened or what. I guess because the season fell apart. We had many discussions about it before the draft. But with Ty Simpson, there's a couple things. One, he can really move and he throws an awesome football. He's got power. He's got accuracy. And, so he's there. I thought I like the move. And as we're sitting here talking now, I'm not going to go, they got Myles Garrett, they could have got somebody else over here too. No, they got the guy. They want to solidify their quarterback room and on the field play at least for the next 5 or 6, 8 years.
Right.
Instead of, we got to go look for the quarterback. No, they found him. Now, shine him up a little bit and get him ready and throw him out there and see how he plays.
Yeah. But pretty exciting, adding Myles Garrett, right? One of the best players and best defensive player in the NFL right now to that defensive line with the additions that they had in the secondary this year. I mean, just lights out, right? So kudos to the Rams organization for identifying and making these trades and, really going after, like, despite what people think, we are going to win now, right? With the moves that we made. Yeah.
How could you look at it and not be positive about the Rams? Listen, the other side, the Cleveland Browns. I think it was a great move for them.
Agree.
Yes. Now they're stockpiling draft picks. And, I think there is a little truth to this. You got to think ahead in the NFL. And, but everybody's got the same thought here now. Well, they're stockpiling in case whatever they can trade and they can get Arch Manning. I mean, oh man, can we wait and play a game or two or a practice before we get into all that? But is this going to be a great quarterback year? I don't know. I'm going to find out before the season starts. My first thought is I don't look at it and go, wow, this is going to be unbelievable. I don't see that, not right now. But that's part of what the Browns are doing, trying to get more draft picks, all that to see, do they need to trade up to get a quarterback? But I tell you, Matt, you tell me what you think. Deshaun Watson, I still feel that he's going to play and play well for them. I think the coaching change is going to help him. They tried to help their offensive line a lot, and he's been sitting there for a long time.
Yeah.
And we might disagree, it doesn't matter. But I think his talent, just what I even see, is still going to be good enough.
Yeah.
And, so.
No, I mean, the truth is, like, and I've been watching a lot of stuff from like the again, media at OTAs and just kind of the things that have been out there, and looks sharp to me. The ball looks impressive. And like, it's also very noticeable the difference between him and the other quarterbacks. So despite the fact that he's been out of ball for a while now,
right,
still he flashes pretty apparently to me when you see clips of Browns practice. There's a big difference between him and the rest of the crew, talent-wise, right? And just the way that he looks in the pocket. So big year for him, no doubt, personally. Browns, though, no doubt have a really strong young football team right now with a lot of good pieces to build on. And now they have a first rounder in the 2027 draft. They have a second rounder in the 2028 draft. And I think they got a third rounder in the 2029. So out of this Myles Garrett trade, with the pieces that they already have, setting themselves up for the present and to continue to build in the future, which is great.
I got to bring up one little subject that hit me today.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote an article up Minnesota about the quarterback, what's going on. And he says, wow, just watching practice, I'm trying to do the best I can with the article. He's watching practice. It's clear that Kyler Murray is way ahead of J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
And, which, and people talk about, J.J. can't win this job. It had to be a disaster by Kyler Murray.
And we don't want J.J. to win the job. If you want J.J. to be successful in the NFL, compete for the job, but don't want to see him win it. Not yet.
No, because it's that could be that you've said this. That could be the worst thing that could happen to him.
Yeah.
Because it's how it can get. If it got rough in the first 2 or 3 games, everybody's going to be yelling and screaming for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Now it's over. Now I saw on TV today, which is wrong. Oh, well, Kyler Murray didn't know how to run the Kevin O'Connell offense and all this stuff.
Oh, that's just TV people making shit up. Yeah.
I just want to go bull crap.
He's played football. Kevin O'Connell's coaching football. Get used to it.
But yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's got his system.
Yeah.
But come on.
Hey, you know what? Kevin O'Connell's never coached a quarterback like Kyler Murray. So it's like, who's really at fault here? Is it Kyler or is it Kevin O'Connell? So don't give me that.
Yeah, but my word about all that is it's going to work.
Yeah.
He's a good, he's got some talent. He's been in the league long enough. And, Kevin O'Connell goes, oh, wow, he can do, let me draw that and let's do some things. Of course, he's going to give him an offense that fits him.
Yeah.
They act like Kevin O'Connell can only do this. So that's what we're going to do.
Well, they had nothing to say, so they just made shit up. Good for them. Because, yeah.
But I do think it's a great situation for Kyler Murray. It's a fresh start. He needed it. Yeah. And it's different coaching. Kevin O'Connell, I know we always say these things, but he is the whisperer to a quarterback.
Right.
He is that guy.
Right.
And Kyler Murray, I'm sure. I read where there was a connection. I didn't go too far in the article of what that connection was with Kyler Murray and Minnesota. But
all right, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, but it's going to be fun to watch it and see how it goes and see how it all looks from the coaching aspect, but also from Kyler Murray's aspect too.
I think the biggest thing too that I've seen so far early on this offseason is like J.J. McCarthy. Okay. Take a breath. Kyler Murray is not your enemy. All right. So I saw him being interviewed as far as just like that conversation goes. Like, what's the quarterback? Oh, it's just another guy sitting across from me in high school. I don't know what high school he went to, but like the guy sitting across from me in high school was my friend. So like, take a little step back, just breathe. They're trying to help you, right, by not making it about you. So just trust the coaching and trust what they see. They still believe in you.
Yes.
Learn from a guy like Kyler Murray, who not too long ago was actually in a very similar situation that you're in, that you find yourself in the moment right now. So I think that's something that, for me, early on, takeaways from the OTAs and just body language wise and all that. You know, JJ's in like attack mode right now. No one's attacking you. So just
relax.
That's right.
Sit back.
Right.
You're going to get another chance.
No doubt. It's going to play out in your favor. Just let it play out and do your best and compete. And just know that Kyler Murray is not your enemy. It's not. So, you know, that's just my little piece of advice for the young QB over there too, because I know that feeling. And the reason why I know that is because as I was looking at it, I was like, that looks like something I would have said at one point in my career when I was like a little edgy and trying to compete for a spot.
Well,
right?
We all say things like that.
Yeah, you know, it's just part of it. But I think ultimately, like, he needs to know that, like, they're buying him time for his career in the future.
Yeah.
Right? They're investing in him now to protect him just a little bit longer, right? Yeah. Before they have to set him free. So
it's pretty cool. I mean, it's really good. Once again, I think it's a great situation. Yeah. So let's see how it plays out. And I want to say, you know, once in a while you can throw the change up. Every pass doesn't have to be Nolan Ryan throwing at 99.9 miles per hour. This, you know.
Well, that's probably a common theme within that whole quarterback room in general, right? Because there's no doubt Kyler Murray's been known every now and then to just throw rifles in there too, you know. So that's definitely a common trend probably in that quarterback room right now.
Well, we know this. The receivers can go deep on the field because these guys can launch it down there, you know. And of course, that's the big thing. Kevin O'Connell probably has as good a downfield passing offense as anybody in the NFL.
Right.
And now with Kyler, with both these guys, now they need the same thing, but underneath passing concepts too.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't, you know, honestly, I didn't think they really did it that well last year. When I would watch some of their tapes, I go, man, you know, it's just, there was just no flow to it. It didn't, sometimes I go, what are they trying to do here? And of course, the biggest thing of all with all quarterbacks, when you don't protect very well, your quarterback's not going to be great.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They got the injury bug on the offensive line. It beat them up. It really took a while for them to kind of gel. And Carson Wentz, thank you for your sacrifice. Big guy. Always a pleasure. You the man. This is Sims Complete on the Believe Sports Network, brought to you by FanDuel. Excited for the Giants. Excited for the Rams, for the Browns. For the young QBs there in Minnesota. Good stuff today, big guy. Always a pleasure. And we'll see you back next week with Sims Complete.
Amen, brother.
Amen, dog.
Amen.